One of the most important consequences of World War I was the Russian Revolution. To understand the reasons for the revolution, it's necessary to examine Russia's pre-war period, so pre-1914. By the early 20th century, the Russian Empire stretched from Eastern Europe to the Pacific Ocean. Compared to Western Europe, however, Russia was still quite backward. Peasants and factory workers lived in terrible poverty, while landowning nobles enjoyed lives of wealth and leisure. The autocratic czars, or emperors, opposed democratic reform, and secret revolutionary societies formed among some of the educated elite. Russia was ripe for revolution. The crisis came to a head after Russia was defeated in the Russo-Japanese War. In St. Petersburg in 1905, uprisings broke out across the country. Peasants seized nobles' lands, while workers of the cities engaged in demonstrations and general strikes. Tsar Nicholas II finally granted limited reforms, creating an elected legislature known as the Duma. However, only the very wealthy could vote for the Duma's members. The years after 1905 showed some signs of improvement, but Russia was not prepared for the strains of war. In 1914, Nicholas II brought Russia into the war against Austria-Hungary and Germany. In battle, poorly trained and badly equipped Russian soldiers suffered. His troops were even sent into battle without ammunition, without guns, without bullets. Mounting defeats in World War I led to widespread discontent in the army. Russian industries were on the home front, food supplies was dangerously low. Worker-led food riots broke out in cities all across Russia. When soldiers refused to fire on striking workers in March 1917, Tsar Nicholas II realized he was powerless to govern the nation. He gave up. Once in power, the moderate provisional government refused to withdraw from war and then soon lost the support of the people. A revolutionary group known as the Bolsheviks promised peace, land, and bread. Peace for the soldiers, bread for the workers, and land for the peasants. Led by Vladimir Lenin, the Bolsheviks seized power in November 1917. The Bolsheviks changed the name of the political party to the Communist Party. Russia had become the world's first communist nation. In 1922, they also changed the name of their country from Russia to the Union of Soviet Socialist Republics, or what we call the Soviet Union. Lenin significantly modified Marx's original theories about communism. He believed that only a small group of dedicated party members could lead a country along the path of communist equality. Lenin argued that after revolution, a temporary dictatorship of party leaders was needed because the workers could not be trusted to know their true best interests. So once in power, the communists withdrew from World War I. They declared the transfer of millions of acres of land to poor peasants. Workers were organized to control and operate factories, and all industries were nationalized, which is just a nice way of saying all industries were taken over by the government. A civil war followed between those who supported Lenin, known as the Reds, and their opponents, known as the Whites. Foreign powers also intervened, giving some help to the Whites. Parts of the old Russian Empire tried to break away. The Red Army, with support from peasants and workers, finally defeated the Whites, and the victory secured the power of the new communist government. By 1920, though, Lenin realized that his program needed some modifications. People were dying of hunger. Peasants were not growing enough food since they feared it would be seized by the government. Lenin instituted the new economic policy in which some private ownership was permitted in agriculture and small factories. However, the government continued to control all major industries. The new economic policy succeeded in slowly increasing production.